LaCosta. I'm the LaCosta, currently on the legend side, hole number 17, and I wanted to run you through a quick tips with Tish on how to get out of the green side bunkers, especially when there's trouble on the other side. I may have talked about this before, but I wanted to overemphasize this video and make it its own video because bunker shots were one of my favorites while I was trying to play on tour, and I would intentionally aim for the bunkers as opposed to hit on short, very tight grass. I'd rather go in the bunkers because I knew I had a much better chance of getting a sandy than getting an up and down. Times are a little different now, but bunkers are still one of my favorite shots. So right now I have my 60 degree, and my 60 degree is my favorite club to hit out the bunker. I would only recommend using your 60 degree when you have like 25 yards, 30 yards max. It's really hard to hit those 40, 50 yard shots with a 60 degree. When you have those shots, take a less lofted club. I love hitting my 50 degree 50 yards. I use the same exact method, same exact swing every single time. It's just a matter of not having too much loft, really. So we'll go ahead and get started. A lot of this you'll probably already hear. One tip I will overemphasize. So here are a couple things that are really, really important out of getting out of the sand. Firstly, just to know, it did just rain, so the sand is a little moist, and when the sand is moist, I mean, under all circumstances, it's very, very important to expose the bounce of your club, and you want to do that. You want to show that underside by opening your club face, just like so. Now, I've had people play this both ways. You can either open your club face and cut across the sand. That's kind of more what I do, where I do a bit of an in-between. Or as you open your face, you aim your open face still at the target, which is why you go more left. I go a little in between that. So first, step one, opening the club face, exposing that bounce, and making sure that this is gonna hit the ground first, especially when the sand is a little wet. If you go leading edge first, you're basically in a dead zone, you're chunking it, you're not getting out of there, or you're sculling it into the water over there, okay? So I'm gonna try and pull out, or hit one of these shots right here. So one of the most important things, obviously, opening the club face, exposing that bounce. You open your stance, you're actually aiming your stance to the left to compensate for your open club face. That's really what that is. And when you open your club face, your ball will shoot out right. That's why you aim, you feel like everything's aiming to the left. Now, depending on the height of the lip, I like to use the height of the lip to decipher how low my hands are gonna go. The lower my hands, the more high, the more spinny it's gonna go. If it's just a normal, not too crazy here, well, actually I have water on the other side, so I'm probably gonna lay my hands a little low and get a little low here. So this is kind of where I keep it. On a normal basis, I'd be standing a little more like this. If I really need to get up there, I'd be really low and almost leaning back. So rule of thumb is when you're in the bunker, this is a relatively flat lie. When you have a flat lie, you want your swing to look more like a letter C. That makes sense, right? I'm trying to make this reverse for you guys. When you have a downhill, y'all, my video just cut off on me and I just finished explaining and I'm about to cut someone, so I'm gonna try and be patient because I want you guys to really learn this tip because it's so important for bunker game because bunkers are my favorite. So, all right, jeez, I'm so sad. All right, so back to what I was saying. Is that general rule of thumb, in terms of lies in the bunker, if you have a neutral lie, you want to make a letter C with your swing. This way, you're going to make sure that you're going to pound through the sand and you'll have like a pitching follow through, right? Now, when you have a downhill lie, you want your swing to appear more like a letter V. More of a very descending, abrupt flow, and you won't have much of a finish this way. And then when you have an uphill lie, they say that it's more like a U. You want to make sure you're going to follow through up, if that makes sense. So over here I have a general C kind of swing, and so now we'll go into setting up and the motion of it. So now for the most important tip that is I just emphasize so much to all my students, is when you're setting up, you know, we now know you want to expose the bounce. Everything's aiming left because it's going to compensate for your open club face. When you open your club face, it juts out right because your club face is essentially aiming right, right? So we aim a little left, and now we've established that I'm gonna have my hands a little low, and now the most important part is making sure you feel like in your bunker shot that your club face is always in front of your center. So, or your hands are always in front of your sternum. I like to say that. Hands in front of your sternum at all times. So when my hands are in front of my sternum, that allows me to have a very fluid swing. I can swing as hard as I want, but it's still relatively smooth because my hands, this triangle that you see, is moving at the pace of my upper body as opposed to body staying still, just trying to swing it through. And also when you're only swinging with just your hands, it may get you out the bunker. You may get this cool spin shot if you get it out, but it's not reliable enough, and your big muscles are always what I emphasize to focus on. So always feeling like your hands are nice and in front of your chest, because it forces you to get a full turn back and through. So it'll look something like this. Getting buried, aiming left, exposing the bounce, feeling nice and connected, hands in front of my sternum the entire time. There we go. Let's do one more. Aiming left, exposing the bounce, turning your body, hands in front of sternum the entire time. A little left, but it got out real clean. Let's do one more. There we go. That's a good one. There it is, you guys. Just like that. All right, I'm out of breath because I was doing that bunker tip for y'all, and the group behind me finally caught up and they were waiting on me, and I didn't want them to throw hands, and they have no idea who I am or what I do. So anyways, I just wanted to close out the bunker tip and round out all those thoughts for you guys, and let me know what you guys honestly feel about it. So obviously making sure your club face is open, you're stable, your lower body is buried in, and it's going to be more of an upper body swing. Making sure that you're aiming a little left of your target to compensate for that open face. And then making sure which letter of the swing you're going to make depending on your lie. You have a C for neutral, you have a V for downhill, and you have a U for uphill, making sure that you're, following through with the hill. You never want to just hit into that uphill lie. It's a terrible feeling on your hands, terrible feeling for your wrists, and you're just likely going to chunk it. And the goal is to always hit that same kind of poof sound out of the bunker every single time. And also the last tip, which is most important to me, is making sure your hands are in front of your sternum, your center, the entire time. I like to feel that way even in my normal swing. Maybe that will help you guys, especially if you feel like your swing is just extremely aggressive and you just want to hit it nice and smooth. Just remember that if your arms, your hands, and your wrists are moving at the pace of your upper body, it can never be too wild. And that always keeps me in check and gives me a good way of feeling the greens and feeling how far or how close I need to hit it, especially out of bunker shots. And it's a lot easier to rely on your bigger muscles than your little muscles, just like you do in putting, right? You want to rely on your big muscles. Your big muscle is going to be the thing that allows you to react to the picture that you're looking at, right? As opposed to just hoping that you're not nervous or your hands aren't feeling weird one day and just going for it, So anyways, bottom line is let me know how you feel about making sure that your hands are always moving at the pace of your center through and through the ball. And that should also help you round out your swing at the same point every single time, as opposed to only swinging with your arms. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, just know that if you're only swinging with just your arms, that you can create that really cool spinning shot, but it's going to be not as consistent and not as repeatable to do. So you may see a lot of guys on tour do that kind of swing when they're hitting out the bunker, or they really need to get a lot of spin because their greens are rolling at 12, 13s, whatever it is. But for the most part, you just want a ball that's going to feel like you're just underhand tossing it out of the bunker and feeling like your hands are in front of your center the entire time with an open club face. It's going to allow you to feel that. The goal in the bunker is to get the sand before the ball, and you're going to just basically lift the ball out and just gently toss it onto the green. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that tip, and I hope that it's helped you a little bit and gives you a little more confidence. If you like what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications button so you don't miss a beat.